Have you ever gone down the rabbit hole like of somebody hating you online and found who they are?
Oh yeah.
Because I have.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh.
I have been sitting on like their mother's Facebook page going, I could ruin your life right now. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Let Me Know podcast. I am Sam.
I'm Caroline.
We're so back.
We're so back, and it's our anniversary.
It is. I got you a gift.
You got.
I
You can't just do that.
I got
Actually,
it.
you can.
Well, it's in a Pete's coffee bag because I didn't have any wrapping paper. But happy 1 month of the podcast.
Happy 1 month of the podcast.
I'm actually really proud of this one.
Okay.
You're gonna love this. Do you know what it is?
I already know what this is.
Really?
Without even opening it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Holding space for 1 month of the Let Me Know podcast.
And now I have to get you one too.
No, that's all you.
First
But
of all,
we didn't need matching.
First of all, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I knew you'd love it.
Second of all, I have some really bad news.
Do you already own it?
No,
Oh.
I'm missing this nail.
Oh.
I am
no.
missing.
We can't do the thing anymore.
It doesn't hit the same.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't hit the same without the claw.
Feels like the poster for part 2 after everything's fallen apart. That's Wicked
Gravity
part
has
2.
been defied.
Gravity has been defied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Happy one month. Our 1 month
oh
anniversary.
my God. Thank you.
So cute.
You know what? I was holding space for this podcast even before holding space ever entered our lexicon.
She was holding space before. That's a good word. Lexicon. Damn.
Thanks.
Okay. I thought that was a car till now. Chill.
Oh, shit.
Chill. And I hope everybody survived Thanksgiving.
You did say to me, you know, having a small family is
Kind of nice. Because you
great.
know what? Little to no drama. Little to none.
I have a very big family. I don't
Yes.
I have my immediate family,
Right.
a lot of siblings. We're all good.
Right.
But then the extended family
Yeah.
is quite big.
Mhm.
It's giving like could be the entire cast of Wicked. Like
Right.
that's how many people are in my family.
Which we
You know, the
we didn't
ensemble.
see. I want to put that out there.
Yeah, we still haven't seen Wicked, but
No.
we're going to see
We're
Wicked.
going to see Wicked. We promise. At some point between now and the heat death of the universe, we will see it.
I feel like we can't even see Wicked right now.
No?
It's so busy.
I have had the part of Popular where she goes, don't make me laugh. They were, and then Elphaba in this version goes Popular, and she goes, right. And she like slams her hands down.
It's just running on repeat.
It's
in your head.
running on repeat
Just
to
on
the
a
point
loop.
where it's making me like upset. It's making me like mad. But you saw Gladiator too.
I did.
How was that? No?
It's not good.
No?
It was. So the way I explained it is, I don't know if you know about the original Gladiator 2 script. It was called Gladiator 2 Christ. God, I can never remember this. Oh my God. Christ Killer. Yeah. Okay. So the
No,
original
they were gonna
Gladiator,
call it Christ Killer.
the script for Gladiator 2 that was concocted by Nick Cave and Ridley Scott was called Gladiator 2: Christ Killer. And it basically Maximus is resurrected for eternity. And he goes back to kill Jesus Christ. That's why it's called Gladiator 2 Christ Killer. So he time travels and he ends up like fighting in the Crusades. He goes to world. Then he goes in the
this
future.
is the direction they were going to go?
Oh, this is They were cooking. They were cooking. Yeah. And then he, ends up in World War II and Vietnam.
I feel like you're kidding.
I'm not.
This is what they were going to do with the movie.
This was the original Gladiator 2 sequel because Russell Crowe wanted to come back. He's like, wait, I won an Oscar playing Maximus. The film won Best Picture.
Right.
It was Slay.
Yeah. I feel like that could have just come up with a different movie. Like they didn't need to make a sequel.
So the
They're
reason
like,
I brought
hey,
that
you can
up,
play a gladiator. It's just a different film.
yeah, right. So the reason I bring that up though is because knowing that's what the original script was, and then having seen Gladiator 2, I was watching, I went, you know what? They should have just done Christ Killer.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that.
I was like, I think that might have been better.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal's great, but like I want to see like
rather than
time
just trying to,
traveling
like,
gladiators.
Rather than just trying to do Gladiator again, but worse.
Yeah.
Because Gladiator 2 is Gladiator, but way worse.
Yeah. They don't need to make sequels out of everything.
No. Yeah, see, like, I feel when my time on this earth comes to an end,
We shouldn't make a sequel
there's no
of you.
sequel.
You're not into cloning? We shouldn't clone you? Caroline Kwan too? Electric Boogaloo?
Can you, but like worse.
Yeah.
Right. You know
So,
what I
like,
mean? It's
dark,
me,
but a worse person.
a worse version.
That would be awesome.
Would you be cloned?
Would I be alive while my clone is walking this earth, or is it I pass and then the clone succeeds me? Is that what you say? Succeeds?
Yeah.
So I die and then there's a clone
You
of
die,
me.
but there's a clone of you.
Does that clone inherit everything that I had, or does it have to start fresh?
But it's like you, but we're going, what was the point of this?
No. The answer would be no, and you phrase it that way. The answer, if I had to exist at the same time as a clone of me, my answer would be yes. Just because I want to see what that would be like.
Obviously have to ask the follow-up question.
Yeah.
Would you have sex with you?
Is that
this is
incest or masturbation?
that's a good question. Or is it self-awareness? Is it
I think that's masturbation. I think that's sexual self-awareness.
okay?
Can I pivot to something that is really sad? And I don't know why I thought about this. Talking about this?
I was like, okay.
Do you know who my celebrity crush is that we've talked about on the podcast before?
Jimmy Carter?
Yeah, well, my other one, younger, like a lot younger.
Jacob Elordi.
Jacob Elordi. Have you seen his face?
I already know.
Have you seen his face?
I already know. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The beard.
Yeah. Can you pull a picture of Jacob Elordi's beard?
He might be the first man to look worse.
And no offense to Jacob Elordi if you're watching the podcast. Thank you so much for choosing our podcast to listen to. We're happy to have you. But what the fuck is happening here? I appreciate people trying new things. And maybe it's for a movie. Isn't there like rumors that he was going to be in like American Psycho?
Oh, yeah, but that's not... There's nowhere close to that. This was the Marrakesh Film Festival. I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to... New year, new me. You know, he kind of looks like Charles Manson.
Yes, he does look like Charles Manson. Are they making another Charles Manson movie?
Dude, probably.
I'm like 90% of the time full, like I'm pro beard.
You're pro beard? Because I'm
yeah.
actually, I prefer a clean shaven face.
Like clean shaven? I hate clean shaven.
I mean, a little, you know, whatever. A little stubble is fine, but I'm not into the mountain man beard.
Beards can be okay. I have a sweet spot of it's facial hair, but it's not quite beard and it's not stubble, because I don't know if you get like this, but if a guy
like a couple pubes on the face,
yeah,
that's what you're into.
Yeah, like pube length. No, because I don't know what Will's facial hair is like, but there's a sweet spot of they haven't shaved for a bit and then it
destroys
it's like
your skin.
It's like if you're like
it's
making out and it's just like
okay, make out ever.
I make out with
wow.
I was gonna say with men, but
with
this
your
one
clone.
man with my clone who has facial hair in this universe. No, I don't like clean shaven. When Brody clean shaves, I'm like okay, so handsome.
Because you mostly don't like it because of the feel.
I don't like it because of the feel, and I think I just like. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna be like, yeah, that makes sense. I think a little bit of scruff looks not so clean, and if they look clean shaven, it's too clean, and they look naked.
Okay, a little bit of scruff looks not so clean.
Yeah,
and we know that you like.
I like
a guy
who
looks like he's
tired.
been in a dumpster.
Yeah, I like him to look
a couple
tired.
days,
unemployed.
Yeah, that's that's what you're into. That's your type.
Yeah, but then when we get to this point, I don't really like that. And Jacob Elordi's the only like celebrity I think that I've ever been like, yeah, clean shaven's better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Let me ask you, if you could grow a beard, would you grow a beard?
Yeah.
What kind of beard? Like, what's your
Would I have a choice?
Yeah, you have a choice here.
I could grow any kind of beard
you
I
can
want.
grow any
How
kind of
fast?
beard. You mean, do you just snap your fingers?
Yeah. Like, is it like The Sims? Do I get to just? No. If I could grow a beard, I would. No, I think I'd grow a mustache.
Oh.
I think
So
I'd be
I
a
mustache
girly.
you a question. What kind of mustache would you have? Would you have like the twirling, Captain Hook, very villainous stash? Would you have like a
I'd grow the kind where I have to be careful about what I wear because I might look like a pedophile.
look like a pedophile.
Yeah. So it's like glasses are limited.
Yeah. Like, don't drive a white van.
Right, exactly. It's like don't wear a flannel, but don't wear it like that.
Yeah.
Flannels are fine, by the way. I'm thinking of the guy from the Lovely Bones movie.
Oh,
I think he was
Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that Moana 2 was coming out?
I only knew because The Rock on his press tour for Moana 2 said, in regards to people singing in the theaters for Wicked, yeah, do it. You paid your hard-earned money, so sing away. And that's, I think we talked about this last week. We're like, The Rock always will have the worst
Yeah,
take
that's true.
on
if
a
The Rock
topic.
has a take on something,
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
Also, the Lin-Manuel stands have like started to, kind of crawl out of the
Do we
woodwork.
like him or not? Because he's such a divisive person. He's like maybe the most divisive person. Like every time I see a meme about him, it's either people aggressively hating him or
Okay,
not.
I just want to warn you.
Okay.
So just be careful, because you think, when you think of the stand-ums, you think Ariana,
Are they like the Swifties?
Taylor. They're not the strength and size of the Swifties. The Swifties is about half the
They are
planet,
really
I think.
tall and they're
Yeah.
big, large.
big.
They're tall and large.
As a Broadway man, I think the Lin-Manuel stands are small in number, but they're very
But
mighty.
they're mighty.
And very scary.
How big are they like physically?
Physically? Oh, I mean like they're theater kids.
Well,
You
I
could
don't.
kick 'em.
I mean, I
Okay.
don't think any of these stand-ups. It's the physical aspect. I think it's the online mob aspect of it, and they
Yeah.
will ruin you.
Yeah. So I mean, I just wanted to, like, if I was in the streets and I talked shit about Lin-Manuel Miranda,
If you go outside and you're like, fuck that Lin-Manuel Miranda.
like, am I dealing with like a 6 foot tall middle schooler? Or am I dealing with like a 4 foot tall 35
the
year old?
Lin-Manuel stands are a combination of Disney adults and just careful. Scootish is a Disney
No,
adult,
that's you're
so-
right.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry.
I know. We hold
God
space.
forbid people
we
have
hold
hobbies.
space
Hold
for
space.
We
we
do.
hold space for certain Disney adults.
Right. It's that corner of the room is
Yep.
the space.
So it's Disney adults, and then it's Broadway babies.
Can I say why I have beef with
Lin?
Lin?
Yeah.
Can I call him Lin?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
on behalf of Lin-Manuel Miranda, yes, you
Thank
may
you.
call him Lin.
He was supposed to do a musical adaptation of my favorite book, and then that just never happened. So the King Killer
the Bible?
Chronicles, the Bible, but the prologue. He was supposed to
Imagination.
do like there was a musical adaptation of King Killer Chronicles. It was like I think it was like a spin-off or something that he was supposedly developing. Can you look this up? Type in Lin-Manuel Miranda King Killer Chronicles. And this was like the talk, and then nothing happened. Now, granted, the author, Patrick Rothfuss, has been writing the third book for like 13 years.
Oh, so he's like a George R.R. Martin.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell happened with
Okay,
this.
but my question is like, is this something that you wanted specifically from Lin?
I don't know.
Or you just wanted this?
I just wanted it.
Okay, so as far as your question of like, do we hate Lin-Manuel? LMM is an interesting case study. Can I call him LMM?
Yeah, sure.
L double
on
M.
behalf of the
L double M.
yeah.
LMNOP.
No, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, sorry. L double M is talented. Like, I don't think in the mocking of the kind of 2016 era of liberal politics where, you would have people like LMM coming up with raps like Tim Kaine and the Membrane.
Right.
Okay. Which is,
Right.
that's lived with me
Sure.
in my membrane ever since.
Right.
But I think sometimes people will do this thing where somebody is silly, and I think we can all agree that he, as a performer, is not good in Hamilton, or at least certainly was the weakest part. But he is a very talented person. But you know what I'm saying? Where we'll suddenly be like, oh, no, this person is just...
The internet decides. It's
The
like
internet
they
does
pick
decide.
somebody and they're like, there's nothing really wrong with this person, but I think we've just, is there things where there's...
Unless, like, are we missing something? Because
Yeah.
my understanding with L
That's how I feel like
M
with him, where it's like, am I missing some
is that
huge
he
scandal?
became very cringe.
Okay, so he's cringe.
It was a cringe thing.
That's
and I
fine.
really don't like to use that word often, but sometimes it's the only word I can...
I like, this is something that Gen Z has done. They have taken kind of just like a visceral reaction and put a word on it, you know? So where there wasn't words before to describe certain things, like, it's like cringe.
Yeah, it's the slang of the youth.
Mm-hmm.
Cringe, this is so meta, but cringe in and of itself has become cringe because of how it's used for everything, right?
Your
and
third
because we
eye
live
is
in this
wide open right now.
because we live in a time where everyone is irony pilled, poisoned, everything is like,
Pilled.
there's you can't be like authentic or serious about anything.
Pilled is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
That's new, where it's like you're something pilled.
Yeah.
I say it all the time.
Yeah.
Say everything pilled. Something pilled. I'm
I'm
life pilled.
I'm couch pilled.
I wake up in the morning and drink a cup of
feeling
coffee pilled.
like no.
No, you can't. That's crazy.
No, she changed it.
Did she?
Yeah. Remember that live performance she did right after he was arrested?
No.
And I think it was wake up in the morning feeling like fuck P. Diddy.
Oh.
Yeah. So we just, changed it.
So when she said wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy, what did she mean then?
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. What's the next line? Put my
glasses up at the
glasses
door. I'm about to hit
the
this city. I got my glasses hit the door
and I hit the city. I got my knees on my teeth. My knees on my teeth.
Which is the lyrics I've always sung, but that's not correct.
I am definitely a person who sings lyrics wrong so confidently.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Let's get to the rhythm of music. Yeah, so
we need to talk about Moana because I started with Moana.
We started talking about like the music from Moana is really good. Okay.
Oh, I used to have the first Moana on vinyl.
I've been staring at the edge of the water.
I didn't know that Moana 2 was coming out at all. Did not know that was a thing that was happening. I saw a billboard for it kind of recently and was like, oh, Moana 2.
I cannot believe they
Interesting.
didn't clear this with you.
They didn't clear this with me. Nobody told me this was happening. So I just stumbled upon it out in the wild. Moana 2 on the billboard. Great. Okay, awesome. Apparently, Moana 2 has set the record for the highest grossing 5-day opening film. So it's like it has been open for 5 days. There's like a weekend opening,
Sure, yeah.
and then there's a 5-day opening.
Yeah.
So it has set the record for the highest grossing. I want to say animated, but I have written down here the highest grossing 5-day opening.
Okay, we're just gonna go with that.
It surpassed Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you saying it like yeah? I thought Super Mario Bros was like coming and everybody knew it was happening.
Okay, wait. Oh, I thought Inside Out 2 was like
So that is for total.
okay,
But this is like first 5 days.
first 5 days.
So it's Moana is for, I think it's for animated films. Moana, Super Mario Bros, and then Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
which one was that?
2009.
Was Megan in that one?
Yes.
Yes. You knew immediately.
I like Transformers. I like the cars.
You like the cars?
Oh,
I
not
like that
Megan.
they turn into robots.
I thought it was Megan.
No, I was too young then. I didn't get it.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
didn't- I didn't understand.
See,
He
I
didn't
was in it
understand.
for Megan. I was
Yeah, I thought everybody was.
Yeah. Yeah, I dyed my hair black because Megan Fox leaned over the hood of a car with the cool leather jacket on and she had long dark hair.
Yeah, and you have the blue eyes.
And
See,
I had the blue eyes.
have the black hair, but I don't have the blue eyes.
Yeah.
We could combine and look like
We
Megan
could
Fox.
together we can be Megan Fox.
If we had a baby, that baby would come out looking like
Megan Fox.
yeah.
Did you know that movie theaters like don't make a whole lot of profit on movie tickets? It's like all of the like popcorn and shit.
Yeah.
That's where movie theaters make their money.
Yeah, and that's why that popcorn is like $20.
Yeah, fuck that.
What's your movie theater go-to?
Candy. I like to get one sweet, one fruity.
Oh,
Or they're both sweet. One chocolate, one fruity.
okay.
So I'll go Three Musketeers and then usually like Sour Patch Kids.
Ew.
What? Three
Ew.
Musketeers?
Yeah.
I will say Three Musketeers has always been my favorite candy bar, and I've never
That's
met
kind of
anybody
nuts.
else that
I used to be a
is-
huge Three Musketeers stan.
yeah, nobody else
No,
has
not
said
really.
that it's their favorite candy bar.
Yeah,
it's like
it's-
people go, yeah, it's fine.
Okay, well, congratulations to Moana 2.
Dwayne Johnson, great job.
Do you guys know the story of Moana 2? Because it wasn't supposed to be a movie. It was supposed to be a TV series on Disney Plus.
Oh.
But Moana during COVID lockdown was the most streamed movie during COVID.
Yeah.
So they upgraded Moana, the TV series, into Moana 2. And that's why Lin-Manuel Miranda didn't write the music, because he was already contracted to write Mufasa, which just comes out like next week.
Right.
It's paced like the movie is like really happening for 20 minutes, and then it's like the end of the episode. So everything kind of like stops. Weird. It's a really weird movie, apparently.
It's funny that kids will hyperfixate on like a movie and they will watch it over and over and over and over again, like every single day, and they'll never get tired of it.
Wait, have you ever seen the Cocomelon stuff?
Not really.
So I started to look into, I haven't fully gone down the rabbit hole, so this might not be as all encompassing as it could be, but there are a ton of TikToks of parents being like, look at how my child responds to Cocomelon, where a child will be crying, they'll be in another room on like one of those bouncy things that they go flying in on.
They do have those. They look like little like Optimus Prime,
or they're like little spaceships around them. And
we should get those for adults.
I would.
Do you know how sick it would be if you could just like sit,
it would be so sick?
but you're standing?
But you could move too. So they'll put on the Cocomelon music, and immediately it's like a drug for it. It's like the kids are hypnotized. Like it's a Pavlovian response where you have a crying baby, you put on Cocomelon.
Yeah.
It stops crying and like turns in the direction. You put Cocomelon on, and the kid in their little, bouncing spaceship comes flying from the other room and stands in front of the TV.
It's like you didn't even think they could like crawl in there running.
Yeah, and apparently it's actually like Cocomelon's insidious.
Wow. It's hypnotizing?
I think it more so has to do with the response of a child to something like Cocomelon, where it's not healthy, where it should, like, kids being that transfixed and that controlled by the Cocomelon song.
Bad.
It's like, that's what I'm saying.
Like that shouldn't be like their brains are mush, and you're just like they're
Can you
they're
play
zombified.
just a little bit of the Cocomelon songs?
I was gonna ask, like, can you pull up a Cocomelon?
Yeah, maybe pull up just even a Cocomelon, like child obsessed with Cocomelon or whatever.
Oh.
Just activate it.
Like, there's just so many examples. I haven't even seen these ones because there's so many. Look at them. Oh my God.
There's no way that's
No.
real.
That can't be real.
Well, the kid didn't go the opposite way, so we know it's not in reverse. It's the equivalent of like when you're sitting around like a party or a situation where a couple people have had a drink and one person takes their vape out.
Yes.
And then there's somebody that doesn't buy vapes, but they like to vape.
It's okay. Here's what it is. All right. It's the person who only vapes when they're drunk.
Yeah.
But they don't ever have vapes. Right.
Yes.
And then you have the person who, I quit vaping,
But they've had a drink or two.
but they really haven't quit
That's
vaping.
Cocomelon.
I quit vaping right before I came to this party because my vape ran out, and I went, I'm no longer vaping.
Yep, exactly.
And then you have the people who are like, no thanks, I'll stick with my cigs.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me. But yeah, you're exactly right that the Cocomelon doot 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 doot.
It's like somebody
takes the vape out at a party.
and then like Jared runs into the next room. He's like, "Hey,
Hey.
can I have some of that?
So sorry, do you mind if I
Can I?
Hey, can I?
People, as somebody that doesn't vape, and I don't mind vaping because it smells good. kind of weird.
That's the carcinogens.
Yeah, it smells nice. I've tried it like a couple times and I just am like, oh, okay. But I'm aware of the culture and how people are, and it's so funny because there will be like, you'll be sitting at a table, somebody will hit a vape, and then somebody across the table will be like, hey, can I?
It's immediate.
Do you mind if can I grab that real quick?
As someone who's been in both those positions, I'm saying this is like, I've been that. So I quit vaping, but like, do you mind if I just
want to get out of my system?
Sorry to be that person. Like, you know how we're all like this.
I'll stop after this.
Oh my God.
I'm going to take it another level of relating. It is when you're in high school and you pull out a pack of gum.
Oh yeah.
That is what.
And it's, you know what it is? It's here's another example. When you throw some chum into the ocean.
Yeah.
And the sharks go.
That's relatable.
Yeah.
To me as a person who has had fish, has been fishing. I've been.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've had fish or you've been fishing?
Yes.
So you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know fish. Okay. I was going to pivot to this because this, I don't, do you ever see a piece of news and you're like, how come not everybody's talking about this?
Oh, actually, this is one of my things that I hate people do online when they will just discover something, but I don't mean something silly, right? I mean like
a big thing.
like climate change.
Right.
Like, why isn't anybody talking about this?
They're like, did you guys realize that women got rights?
Yeah. But they'll do this really condescending tweet where it's very clear that they've just learned about this. I know
exactly what you're talking about.
And rather than do 2 seconds of research to see that actually there's organizations filled with people who have dedicated their entire lives to this, they're like, I cannot believe, like, how could we be on here fighting about, you know, whatever, and when the real problem is this thing that I've just discovered and nobody cares, no one's talking about it. And then you'll have people in the comments like, hi, actually, I'm an expert in insert.
Yeah, literally.
This. I've been an activist for 25 years.
They're like, no.
They're like, no, because
this has never been heard before.
I've just discovered this. I'm like, they think they're fucking Christopher Columbus being like, hello.
They're like, ladies, your uteruses must be saved.
Yeah.
Like, okay, thanks, Jason.
Like, thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Australia.
Okay. Always.
Passed a bill. Australia might.
Australia.
They passed a fucking bill down under.
What's in this fucking bill, mate?
To fucking ban social media for children under 16.
That's also the result of old people who want to oppress the youth,
right?
Who want to make sure that they don't get any ideas about taking down capitalism and,
right.
You know, defending their right to exist as a trans person.
Yeah, it says that it's within the apps now. So it's like TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Reddit, like all, I'm not going to call it X, Twitter.
Yeah, no, we don't.
If they don't
we
self-police, it's funny that it's just like, I just am like, I won't call it X.
I refuse on principle.
Like, I'm not going to call it that. Yeah, because if I call it dumb. X, that's like, then it is X. He's one.
He's one.
Won't give him that.
He's one.
If they don't self-police like minors, they can be liable for fines up to $33 million.
Well, my whole thing is like, are y'all gonna do anything about the adults online
right.
who harass and threaten and abuse and do all these things that make the internet a very hellish place to be on, no matter who you are, what age you are?
That's the thing, is people are always like, the kids on the internet. And it's like, I think I've had more full-grown adults bully me on the internet than children. Like, when children bully you, they say one thing and then they go on to whatever they were doing. Like, when adults bully you, they don't have school, so they just have all day to like meticulously bully you.
I think the most I've ever gotten into it was one brief little thing where I went, oh, this person's like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
But most of the hate and harass, like the death threats and everything that I've got online, I can tell you for a fact that I would put that in the average age of probably 25 to 35 male.
Have you ever gone down the rabbit hole like of somebody hating you online and found who they are?
Oh yeah.
Because I have
Oh yeah.
many times.
Oh.
Like I have been sitting on like their mother's Facebook
Oh.
page going, I could ruin your life right now.
Wait, I worked at a call center once,
Uh-huh.
and one of my last days, this guy, you know, whatever, this guy said all these like crazy, crazy, horrible things to me, and we looked up the phone number and found who this guy is, and so I Googled him, and he lived with his mother, and I found his mother's phone number and called and left a message. I
You
literally
did?
did it.
That's good.
I did it. And then I quit this godforsaken call
Good,
center.
get out of there. When I first started doing content creation, I had this one person commenting on, it might have been my TikToks, it was some social media platform, just being really mean, like super, super mean. And I was very small. So I had all the time in the world to notice this. Like it's like
They had all the time in the world to say make these comments, and
Yeah.
you had all the time in the
I
world.
was like, this is my only job, and I'm a small creator. Like I can go down the rabbit hole at no cost to me. I spent days doing this, to be clear. This was my full-time job.
you kind of lose your mind a little bit.
It was like, I told somebody this, it's like a woman with a goal in mind on the internet anything is possible. We can move mountains.
yeah.
So
Hell hath no fury, like a
woman with
who's been
internet
harassed
access.
online.
Literally. I found out who he was. I found his Facebook page. And again, I was a small creator, so I was just like, nobody else is harassing me online. This is the only online harassment I'm getting, so I'm gonna have fun with it. And I screenshotted his messages, and then I screenshotted his mom's Facebook profile, and I sent it to him in a thing, and I said, I don't know what his mom's name was. I was like, I don't really think Karen would appreciate the things you're saying to people online. And he apologized.
Oh my God.
He immediately was like, turned around and he apologized. He was like, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean it. Like, they always say the like, I've grown, even though it was like 3 hours ago. They're like, I'm different now.
I've changed. I don't know why I said that. It's always, I don't know why I said that.
I've had time to reflect.
They're
I was
like,
drunk.
I'm just mad. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I know. Shit.
Wow, I had no idea you're just an angry person.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, and I'm assuming the answer to this because this is how it's gone for me. As you have gotten,
I just wanted to get rid of the bag.
as you've been a content creator longer, and you've gotten bigger, which usually will just by the numbers,
Like taller.
Yeah, like you're.
I'm
now
growing,
5'6".
girl. Yes, thank you.
Do you just not engage anymore? Because I don't.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, and I don't know if you're like this, but I care more and less at the same time. Like, I could care less what a single person says or does in my DMs anymore at all.
Oh, I don't even have my DMs open.
No, I have mine open and I'll check and I see some of the most like horrendous things. Like I got one the other day that I'm not even gonna like repeat. It was terrible. And I'll read it and I'll go like, okay. Like it's like I just go, okay. It's like you showed me like a picture of like a rock.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay. But the thing that gets to me now is if 3 people have the same opinion about me, I go, like, why?
Also, usually when it's something so specific.
I am really lucky where, and I think you and I actually are in the same place with this, with content creation. We both got into it when we were old enough to have kind of established who we were as people.
Yeah.
And so there's things that get to me, but they don't get to me so bad because I have a base layer of who I am as a person and they can't take that away from me. Where I know a lot of people that we're friends with got into the space young.
Dude, when they were like 16 to
15,
20.
16. And even though they have grown and they have matured, I think the internet kind of got under that layer of skin and always will kind of have that like access point because they were there before somebody. Like the best way I can put it is like, we built the foundation of who we were going to be. So the internet has just piled on top of that, where these people, the internet was ingrained in who they built themselves as. So it became part of that foundation. The way that the internet perceived them at that young age built their perception of themselves, and they always will have to kind of carry that.
Yeah, I can't imagine growing up on the internet in the way though that you're being perceived constantly because you're a public internet creator.
Yeah, because it's like when you're 16 on the internet.
And when you're 16, somebody tells you to kill yourself because you're just existing.
That's the lyrics.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, when you're 16, and somebody tells you to kill yourself on the internet, you go, huh? Why? Where if somebody says that to me at 29, I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
maybe.
I will say I definitely
like, you can't say anything meaner to me than I've said to myself.
That is true. I've said that many a time. Mm-hmm. I definitely took steps though to preserve my peace as best as I could.
This has been good for that.
This has been
the
really
podcast
good.
has been so good for that.
So I will say there is one comment that made me laugh out loud. There was someone who said at whatever, I think it was the last episode, they go at inserted the time on the podcast. They're like, this is how I knew the podcast wasn't for me. And I went, okay, I'm so curious to know what it is. Do you know what it is?
No.
It's when I talked about Lance Bass coming out as gay.
Oh.
On the People magazine cover.
Gay people exist.
But I need to know, this person's like, this podcast not for me. Is it because that was them finding out Lance Bass is gay? And they're like, I cannot
you might have broken
this.
it for them.
This podcast is not for me. How dare you? It's like you just told me that Santa.
Damn, you ruined their whole week. Maybe year.
I'm not a comments reader because, again, I had to take steps to preserve my peace.
Right.
And that included shutting down my DMs. But the YouTube, just because we start, this is our new venture. It's our baby.
Pioneer.
I am reading comments as I know you are to, one, feel good about this thing that we're doing. And
which 99% of the comments are really nice.
Like so nice.
Like, just so you know, we read them and they've been really nice.
And I think I'm so used to getting awful comments because as you said to me one time on the phone, when I called you losing my mind, you were like, people don't leave like positive reviews on Yelp.
Yeah.
They're not as incentivized to do that as they are to just try to destroy.
Yeah, when you like something, when like people leave comments when they love something and people leave comments when they dislike something, but people don't leave comments when they like something.
I've also encouraged my community members from like going to war for me on a place such as Twitter.
I hate when that happens.
Where I said early on, I was like, look guys, I so appreciate that you have my back and you know that this is all bullshit and whatnot, but it's not worth it for you to be spending your time on this either. And these people, it's like cockroaches where there's one, there's so many more. And unfortunately it will just expose you to a evil corner of the internet. I mean, really just a lot of the internet.
If somebody comes for somebody online, like me, if somebody says something shitty about me and then one of my like viewers responds to them, I'm fine. But as soon as I see a back and forth happening, I will hate both of you. Like I will hate both of them because it's like if somebody says something shit about me and somebody defends me, I'm like, oh, that's nice. And then the shit person says something back and then the defender says something back. That's when I'm like, when you're out. I'm like, now both of you suck.
I kind of feel like discourse online, I know we've been saying this, but it truly feels cooked.
Yeah.
And I think after I tried to engage good faith, not just telling someone they're a fucking dumb bitch type of thing, and it was just thrown in my face, that's when I kind of decided I was done. And from just now being on the sidelines, watching conversations play out online, especially with people who I know they're on the same side, or at least, more the same side than they might think they are. And I'm like, this is so cooked. We people just cannot talk to each other online.
No, and sometimes you, like, when it comes to defending yourself online, you just look at it and you go, I don't have the word count because I don't pay for Twitter Blue to defend myself here. And an example for that for me is I got a comment. It might have been because of the podcast. I don't remember. Because I talk about how I lived in a log cabin and I had like 3
like
TV
Abraham
channels.
Lincoln.
Right.
Yeah.
This person, I think this might have been on Twitter. This person was like, she's lying. Here's why. She looks this old. And if she's this old, then she would have had this many channels because like they diagnosed how old I was and based on how old they thought I was. And
Baby, they're writing fiction over
they
here.
were coming up with a whole thing. And their plot line is that they were assuming I lived in the city, and because of based on how old I looked, the city houses would have had this many TV channels, so therefore I was lying.
It's giving season 8 of Game of Thrones where you go, this is just bad
And
writing.
I was like, you have created fanfic about me now.
Yeah.
It's like,
did you see this story about Casey Musgraves getting very aggressively grabbed at a concert when she was so it was a Tampa show. So Casey is walking through the crowd, and actually, Scootish, can you pull up the TikTok? Casey is walking through the crowd singing, and right here, look at how someone just grabbed her, and she goes, "What the fuck?" She stopped and was like, I think she said Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, she does
that.
the like.
Right. And then there is a follow-up TikTok underneath that where she addresses it on stage.
Is it the same day?
Oh,
No, I
no,
think
no,
it's a
no.
different day.
Last night, this Tampa bitch.
Biz Tampa bitch, Florida woman.
I know. She kind of ruined it. She kind of ruined it for everybody. I thought I was going to have to get real East Texas on her. Take off my ear. Well, Florida goes hard. It felt a little bit like when you type your name and your birth date into the Florida man thing, and then
We did that.
the Tampa girl popped up.
Okay, and then on her Instagram story, she shared clips of the incident and wrote, "This is not okay, and they're lucky I didn't instinctively swing."
Yeah, which I think she would be in her rights to be honest.
I mean,
like if
she
somebody
said,
puts their hands on you unconsensually, I think it's fair game.
Oh, absolutely. Just as so the fan grabbed her, and on Instagram she wrote, "Just because an artist or any human is within reach, you have zero right to treat them like an object.
Yeah.
This was aggressive, was dealt with, and will not be tolerated at my shows. I walk out in the space designated for me to safely move through the crowd so I can connect on a closer level. It's fun until someone has to ruin it."
Yeah.
And, you know, this is just one instance, but there are so many instances at this point.
Yeah.
From people like throwing shit at artists and the cell phones. Wait, who was it was it Miranda Lambert who got smashed in the face with a cell phone?
I don't know. Is it recent?
I think it was last year. This guy threw a phone at, I swear it was Miranda Lambert.
It's such a weird, like he's going to want that back.
Like, what? I know, unless he's, you know, like the Verizon
like,
guy who just has a bunch of phones.
He just has like
Can you hear me now, bitch?
He has like a t-shirt cannon just full of them. Like,
People really are out here acting like main characters in a way where they have decided I can behave
yeah.
how I wish to behave, and that is my right to
Yeah.
as me.
Yeah.
But you know, those are the type of people in a zombie apocalypse who would like shove a 10-year-old to the ground.
I would. I want to be abundantly clear. If it is a life and death situation, I am.
No, I'm not. No, like you do that even though you didn't have to do it, but
Oh.
it's an extra like precaution.
Oh, so I get the option to shove a 10-year-old
Like you
to the
didn't
ground.
have to shove the 10-year-old. It was a
So it's like there's
like you're panicking.
Yeah.
You're panicking.
Zombies.
Zombies. And both of you could have gotten out alive.
Do I know that? Because the situation, I've taken the zombies out and I've said there's a boat with 2 seats and there's me and a 10-year-old.
Ask you a question. When on a plane, do you think that you can just go?
Go where?
Do you think you have to wait your turn?
Like, can I? Like, what is to do? What?
For anything?
Like, I could fly it. That's what you're asking. I could land it. Okay, real question.
Okay.
This is, do you think if you were in a situation where you needed to land an airplane, could you do it?
You know, I have an ego about certain things. Like when that axe wielding man was outside the restaurant, I was like, I definitely can protect us. Don't worry. And I grabbed a fork just in case.
You did.
But I don't think I have an ego about
Planes?
landing a plane that's chalked. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
the navigation system is totally broken, and
No, it's intact. The pilot just disappeared.
You know what it is? I'm not Mark Wahlberg, okay?
That's true.
I'm not Marky Mark.
He could have stopped.
All right, he could have stopped 9/11.
Yeah.
It would have been like, I would have hit 5 buildings.
Yeah. Like ping pong. So you're saying that if you were on the plane, you would have
It would have
done
been
more?
worse.
So this went from me asking you if you could land a plane to you thinking you would do like 9, 12, 13, and 14.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay, so the answer is no.
Whoa. What about you?
Yes.
What do you mean? Yes.
I don't know. I feel like.
What is that
Have you ever been in a
enthusiastic yes?
cockpit before? I feel like they make it
No.
look complicated, but there's probably labels.
Baby, I'm saying there's no navigation system. I'm saying Copilot is dead.
No,
I'm
no.
saying you have to like manually land
Plane-
this fucking thing.
Plane is fine. Pilot disappeared. So everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Okay, then. Yeah, I'm putting on my little headset with control tower.
You get all the options. Actually, no. Control tower disappeared too.
Okay,
But you get a
so
fully
I'm
functioning
looking-
plane.
Is my phone working? Can I Google it?
Well, phones don't work very well on planes.
Okay.
You have to pay the Wi-Fi though. The airplane Wi-Fi.
Fuck. Wait, are we on Delta? Because I can have free Wi-Fi. Or is it Spirit fucking Airlines?
Alaska. So the Wi-Fi is good, but it's like $30.
Okay. Is it? Are we on is it an ocean? Is this land? Are there mountains around?
Soft grass fields.
Soft grass fields.
Yeah.
Okay. Does there happen to be like a parade of children that I have to avoid as I'm landing? Like there just happens to be a huge crowd of.
No, so the scenario is you're flying over the top of an island with no people on it. There's a doctor on the plane.
And a vegan.
And a vegan. And a guy in a wheelchair. His name's John Locke.
Okay. Okay, I see where you're going with
Can
this.
you let in the plane?
And I'm like kind of rugged.
Right.
Sexy.
But you make the occasional questionable term that didn't. Are you Sawyer?
Oh, I thought it was Jack.
Oh.
Wait, who lands the plane in Lost?
The plane crashes.
Oh, it just crashed. Oh, I was like for a second ago, I don't remember either of them landing the plane.
It comes back to the island a second
Okay, let me
time.
ask you a question. To piggy off this. If a plane is crashing, are you surviving? Can I say I think so because I don't think you'd be in first class.
Are we?
And first class is more likely to die in a plane crash. This is not. This
Okay.
is good. It's good.
Yeah, I've
It's
actually
good.
looked it up. The back of the plane is most likely to survive.
Yeah. Middle seat, last row.
So are you
Can't recline
asking
your
would I
chair.
survive the plane crash or the island living afterwards?
Okay. So let's start with the plane crash.
Okay, yes.
Do you survive? Yes.
Yes. I would.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
you're on the island.
Okay.
And there's like smoke and shit. Maybe some polar bears. You don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Are you where do you find yourself, like a leader, a follower?
I turn on everyone.
Oh, just immediately.
Yes.
Like people aren't even done
No.
getting out of the wreckage.
No, here's what I would do. I would gain the trust of everyone that also crashed with me while also creating rifts between all of them so that I could have friendships, but I would create a situation where I could make any of them turn on each other.
Okay, this is day one.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm working.
Day one,
I'm working.
You're a girly who's
Yeah. Day
working.
2, coconut water.
Okay.
You don't even want to know what happens day 3.
Wow. To be continued.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, you were on the island already, and you pretend you're in the.
It's true. I'm the guy
You're
that
like-
was already there.
You're like, we're all
and I'm
looking
like,
for the guy who did this.
I'm like, this is crazy. The thing that just happened
You're
to
like,
all of
oh
us.
my God. You rub some dirt on your face. You're like, oh my God, how did we just survive that?
My leg.
It's like wild.
this is crazy.
Like, oh, I think I sprained my ankle. Somebody's missing their entire bottom half. You're like, oops.
That sucks.
Yikes.
Oh. No, yeah. I think I would be fine. I think I'd be fine. I think I would also look for good real estate, because if we develop to the point where we have like a housing market.
Oh, so now we're colonizing. Now we're
Maybe.
day one. This is all day one. This is all day one.
Day one.
Yeah.
This is why I'm a survivor.
This is
You're looking for clean drinking water. I'm looking for 2% interest on a plot of land.
looking to make a thriving housing market. Yeah.
I'm gonna own this island.
Wow. You've already renamed the island. Someone's like, my phone, it's working. They pull up Google Maps. They're like, what? This island is called
Samland.
Sam. You're like, who named this?
It's like they turn around and then they look back, and I just have built a whole like town hall.
Yeah.
I just day 2 start charging everybody taxes on the island.
What if we like ended up on separate sides of the island, formed our own?
So you break off on the front half,
Like I crash on the eastern side
right?
of the island.
So
You crash
does-
on the western, and
Okay,
then-
I have to ask a question though. Did the plane crash? Did the plane split?
Yeah.
Hot dog or hamburger style? Because if it's hamburger style, does that mean you're in first class and I'm not? You're like, so I was in the front part of the plane.
I'm like, so us first classers.
Right. Well, because you were trying to land it.
No, it's split hot dog style.
So the plane has split down the center, and half of it landed on the west side and on the east side.
Right. And we have no idea who survived. And so we simultaneously like form these factions where we're the leaders of our faction, and then eventually we go to war.
I feel like you're gonna make a musical out of this. Like we're like,
It's literally West Side
I know,
Story.
literally just West Side Story. You're just reinventing it, but an island.
Like, wait a second, why does this sound familiar?
I don't know anything about West Side Story.
Oh, it's so good.
Hmm.
Tonight,
Damn it.
tonight won't be just any night.
We
You don't know
almost
that
had a
song?
whole episode. No. What? Did you know that if you want to watch Wicked musical stuff on YouTube, you type in "pink and green slime tutorial" is the code for recordings of the Wicked musical.
What?
Look it up. Go on YouTube. Type in "pink and green slime tutorial."
There's no way.
I'm dead serious.
What the fuck?
Click it. It's not like a great recording, but it's a recording.
What?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Can you go to Defying Gravity?
Yeah, I was gonna ask for that too. Oh yeah, can we watch the whole thing? Actually, can you go back?
Can you?
For everybody that's listening, we're clearly not going to put this in the episode because it'll get us demonetized.
So banned.
Have you seen the videos of people trying to do that?
Yep.
We just went on a
I forgot we were
tangent.
doing this podcast.
Yeah, we just went on a rabbit hole that we can't show because everything will get demonetized. But we just watched Wicked live and also Shrek the musical.
No, I watched a pink and green slime tutorial.
We watched the Pink and Green Slime tutorial.
Look at you, little musical girly.
So we are going to now jump into the Let Me Know segment of the Let Me Know podcast.
Is it too early to say that this is our favorite segment?
I love it because you know why I love it? Because when I'm looking for things to talk about, I come up with things that might have some sort of continuity in a way. The Let Me Know segment, it's like, you know what? This could take me 30 seconds. This could take me 300 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is more than
is
30.
Which is
An
5 minutes.
Yes, there we go. But it doesn't matter. So it's just like a fun little thing that you probably wouldn't know. So we're gonna let you know.
It's also a thing that is a guaranteed. We're going to talk about it because we have this segment.
Yes.
So why don't you go first? Because mine has to do with what we're going to be doing on the
On the
Patreon.
Patreon. The thing I need to let you know this year, and by this year I mean 2025, so close. The year 2025, which is coming quickly. The U.S. Postal Service has decided to memorialize Betty White as a forever stamp.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah, so Betty White died in 2021, just shy of her 100th birthday, and they are making a let me know. Nope. They're making a sorry, I'm just really
hold on.
Really
They're making a let me know stamp.
Betty White's on the podcast next week.
God, we've moved so fast.
Some may say too fast. So yeah, I thought that was cute. I have the same birthday as Betty White.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. And one of the Paul brothers.
January 20th.
No. 17th. Close. Yeah.
When's mine?
Uh-huh.
Okay, what's my sign?
Libra. I do know that. I know you're a Libra.
So,
your birthday. No, hold on. I actually think I can do this.
Okay.
Is it October?
Nope.
May.
Libra.
That doesn't help me.
September.
Fuck. September. Oh, if it was the 11th, I'd know that.
No, I think you would forget.
Never forget.
No, I think you would forget though.
September 21st.
29th.
Shit.
We're probably, which is like, I don't want to like assume anything, but I can't imagine that there's like a friend on a level that's closer.
No, I think you're like my best friend right now. Don't. See, I know if I say it, you'd have a reaction.
But I don't mean it as like, so I'm your best friend, right?
No,
I'm saying that I think I'm on a level for you where there's no like, okay, I get to the next level.
You're my something happens, I need to tell somebody person.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I have had the same genre of person as my best friend throughout my whole life, which is a theater kid type person with like a big personality, that like same genre of person, you know, big personality theater kid.
You're drawn to us.
I think it's because like I'm just like, you can do that, I don't need to do that, and then I'll just get the residuals. Like I get too hot in the sun, I'll bask in like the warm shade.
Yeah. Okay, well, congratulations to Betty White.
Thank you.
And rest in peace.
I don't know why I said thank you.
As clearly the
on behalf of Betty White, you're welcome.
Yep, thank you. Wait, why am I saying thank you now? Gotcha. Okay. Anyway,
do you think that people that watch us think we're as funny as we think we are?
Maybe like a couple.
Yeah, okay. What do you need to let me know?
I'm assuming you don't know about the 1973 Oscars. Do you know about the Oscars?
I do know about the Oscars.
Okay. But I mean, do you know like the history of, God, my face is already lighting up. I can feel my face lighting up.
Yeah.
Do you know about all like the big controversial, holy shit moments of Oscars history? Okay.
No.
So we've got the slap. 2022 is the slap, right?
I hadn't even said no yet. And you were like, okay, so.
Okay. So we've got this.
Like I could have left the room.
To you. I was literally didn't even matter what you said.
You weren't even like you were like you know when you're talking to somebody that's drunk and they're not looking at you. That's where she was.
Yeah. So we have 2022 slap.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We have these big moments though. The slap, the envelope mix up, the streaker.
Forgot about that.
Michael Moore saying "Shame on you, Mr. Bush" at the 2003 Oscars and getting booed, and what I think is probably, I mean, this is subjective, but I think is probably the biggest moment from Oscars history when it comes to like scandal, controversy, huge moments is the 1973 Oscars. And this was the year that the Godfather
You could do nice on
the day my daughter is to be married. And you asked for me to subscribe to the Patreon so you can hear us talk about The Godfather for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So The Godfather.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the year that The Godfather is nominated for a bunch of Oscars, including Best Picture, which ends up winning. And Marlon Brando, The Godfather, is nominated for Best Actor, and he wins. He wins for playing Don Vito Corleone.
I'm gonna make him a
But
laugh. I can't refuse.
what happens is he ain't there because he sent
A bomb. No, I don't know.
He blew up the Oscars. No, but he did though. But in the form of Sachseen Littlefeather, who was an activist, Native American activist. Although it's been like that's a whole thing I'm not going to get into right now. But anyway, she was the president of the National Native American Affirmative Image Committee, and he sent her there with a 15-page speech that he had written to condemn Hollywood's portrayal of Native Americans, to call out the current situation at Wounded Knee, South Dakota. Do you know that historical event?
Nope.
Okay. So this was happening at the same time as the Oscars, and it is the, I think it's the longest civil disorder in history still to date. And hundreds of Native American activists occupied the Pine Ridge Reservation Village in Wounded Knee, South Dakota, to protest corruption in tribal leadership and highlight the U.S. government's failure to honor Native treaties. And basically, they were reacting to the poverty and corruption and police brutality, and the U.S. government just continuing to take a giant dump on Native American tribes in this country. And so they occupied this village and had a standoff against federal officials. So the FBI came down, they fucked shit up, and it lasted for 71 days. So Marlon Brando had all of this in his letter where he's basically calling out the government, he's calling out Hollywood, and he wanted Sachseen Littlefeather to present this speech and to decline the Oscar on his behalf. So Marlon Brando, who's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, he has just won Best Actor for Godfather, which was the best picture of the year. And so Sachseen Littlefeather gets up there and she realizes, one, that she's not going to have time to even read one page of this speech. And two, that John Wayne is going to have to be held back by approximately 4 to 6 people because he wanted to attack her. Because John Wayne, not just in the movies, really loves to beat the shit out of any Native person.
Wow.
Yeah. So she gets up there, has to improvise with just a matter of moments. And she, can you pull up the speech? So audio listeners, accepting the award for Marlon Brando is Miss Sachseen Littlefeather. She walks up on the stage, declines the statuette.
Hello, my name is Sachseen Littlefeather. I'm Apache, and I'm president of the National Native American Affirmative Image Committee. I'm representing Marlon Brando this evening, and he has asked me to tell you in a very long speech, which I cannot share with you presently because of time, but I will be glad to share with the press afterwards, that he very regretfully cannot accept this very generous award. And the reasons for this being are the treatment of American Indians today by the film industry.
So you can hear the crowd.
Excuse me.
Oh, they booing
So
her?
it's booing and applauding.
I beg at this time that I have not intruded upon this evening, and that we will, in the future, our hearts and our understandings will meet with love and generosity. Thank you on behalf of Marlon Brando.
Okay, so meanwhile, John Wayne is like somewhere backstage being like, let me have at her. So apparently the show's producer had threatened to have Sachseen Littlefeather arrested if she tried to read the whole speech, and was like, I'll give you like less than a minute. And after the show, she delivered the speech in its entirety to in a press conference, and the New York Times published it all. And then years later, the Academy, I think it was like it was right before she died, they issued a formal apology, because what happened afterwards is that she was mercilessly destroyed by, the media, press. She was blacklisted in Hollywood, and it was treated very, very, very cruelly. Received death threats and all. Yeah. What's changed? You know. But anyway, it was this huge moment because the Oscars, even though a lot of people still watch the Oscars now, back then it was an even bigger thing, right? Because the problem with viewership of entertainment award shows today is that younger people don't watch them. Yeah. So
Hollywood also is just a little bit more transparently not glamorous to the outside
like
too.
Less mystique and mystery and glamour, and that's because you can go on Instagram and see like I don't know, like
you were gonna say Hillary Clinton?
No. You can go see some A-list celebrities' Instagram stories where
you can see they're not just these glamorous gods that live in Hollywood Boulevard and do no wrong.
And so it was a huge deal that Marlon Brando had done this, and he turned into an activist and really felt quite passionately about civil rights for indigenous people, for Black Americans, and he was there weren't a lot of people at the time, right? This isn't like this isn't celebrities putting hashtag Black Lives Matter in their Twitter profiles.
Right.
Like back then, you had guys like John Wayne who were more common than not, like a Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, where a Marlon Brando was more of an outlier in how outspoken he was of calling out the industry and his fellow, his fellow actors for their for bad behavior and dangerous representations. And anyway, a lot more to be said there, but I think this is a good transition into talking about the film of 1973, The Godfather. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Yeah. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Everybody has a bad Godfather impression.
The thing about it is I thought people were memeing when they impersonated him, and they weren't.
Oh.
Like,
I'm gonna make him. You have to put subtitles on.
He literally
need subtitles, or you're like,
so we are now going to end the main episode. So thank you for watching. If you are interested in hearing us break down the 1972 film The Godfather, then we are going to be doing that on the Patreon. Link will be in the description. So the uncle of Nicolas Cage directed The Godfather?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep. Nicolas Cage is his uncle directed The Godfather.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow and subscribe on wherever you're seeing us, and
thanks, guys. 1 month.
1 month. Let's go.
Let's go. We're gonna be. Wait, can we actually treat it like, you know how people will say, "Oh, my kid is 22 months old."
5 weeks.
22 months old. No, I want to do this with our podcast where we'll just keep
adding months.
Yeah, so we'll be like
1 month. 60 months. Our baby is the size of an exercise ball. Yeah. Our podcast is the size of a pistachio.
Thank you guys, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Move. Body move.